Super Mario Bros. Wonder looks amazing, and I don't think it's ridiculous to say that it already seems to be the most creative 2D Mario of all time. I said this on our podcast Nintendo Tonight, but 2D platformers are one of the hardest games to show off because so much of it comes down to just how the game controls. The fact that in this first trailer, Mario Bros. Wonder was able to show off so much that we have 50 facts in this video is a testament to just how strong that reveal trailer was.
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Naturally, the game is not out, so maybe we'll look back on October 20th when the game releases and be like, oh, some of these facts were wrong, but we've done a lot of digging and found some really interesting stuff and some stuff that I have not seen anyone else talk about, so let's jump right into it, starting off with fact number 1. There is seemingly internet and Nintendo Switch Online connectivity within this game. I did not realize this at all until I was taking a look at the game's website, which is pretty bare bones until you get to the all the way bottom with this disclaimer saying that any Nintendo Switch Online membership and a Nintendo account are required for online features. Also, you need internet access for online features. Who would have thought? At first, I thought this is something they probably put at the bottom of every game's website, but on the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom's website, we don't have that disclaimer at all. That's obviously a game with no online connectivity, so they wouldn't need it. Secondly, I thought, oh, maybe it's just because they have a little section about Nintendo Switch game vouchers, and obviously you can use game vouchers for games that need NSO, so maybe it's that. But they have the same game voucher section on the Tears of the Kingdom website, the same game voucher disclaimer, but obviously no NSO disclaimer. This doesn't confirm online multiplayer. For all we know, this could be like a returning Miiverse type functionality or some sort of leaderboards, but at least from this, it looks like there's online connectivity in this game. This is by far the most like speculative of these facts. The rest are, well, actually facts. This was just so big I had to bring it up. This wondrous world is called the Flower Kingdom, and the first level in the game is Welcome to the Flower Kingdom. It would appear that there are only 3 levels in this first world, as you see the gang leaving the Flower Kingdom in this shot right here, and as they take these flowers up, similar petals start to fall back here, signifying that they're kind of teleporting using flowers over to the second world. The first level of the second kingdom seems to be a level themed around these new toad-like houses. Maybe it's a town you can walk through, perhaps. Purple coins return as a main collectible. We don't know what they're used for yet, but my money is on alternate costumes just like in Mario Odyssey, as that's the only other time we've seen purple coins in a mainline Mario like this. Yup, it's the only time. Purple coin chunks appear too. You get 0.1 purple coins for each chunk, but they're seemingly only able to be accessed when you're in the weird wonder mode, as that's when the counter gains a decimal. There also seem to be 3 large purple coins per level that give 10 each. These kind of replace star coins, which do not return. This marks a beginning of a new, but not new, you know what I mean, 2D Mario era. There is also no timer, another bygone relic of the new Super Mario Bros. Games. This to me indicates we're getting longer or maybe more less linear levels where you maybe have to do some backtracking or more exploration within the 2D levels now that you're not being held to a timer. You're gonna have to hit the top of the flagpole in every level for 100% completion, just like in Super Mario 3D World. I'm saying this because there's a little icon that pops up. There's no other reason for that to happen. There is, however, a great reason for you to subscribe to the channel. That being that most of our viewers aren't subscribed, so we're never gonna hit 200K and pass the dreaded Wii U stop channel unless you hit that subscribe button. So do your part, join the club, and now let's move on to the next fact. The eShop listing for Super Mario Bros. Wonder confirms that it is only 4.5 gigabytes. That sounds like not much, and that's because it is. That's a really small game, but keep in mind that New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe was only 2.5 gigabytes. And that game had a whole new Super Mario Bros. Campaign, an entire second campaign with the Luigi U mode, extra minigame challenges, all that, and it's almost half the size of Super Mario Bros. Wonder. This just goes to show 2 things. Nintendo's compression is amazing. They are so good at getting these games down to a small size, and Mario Wonder must be a pretty big game to almost double New Soup Deluxe. Fact number 10 brings back the timer. There are these like challenge/time trial segments shown here and here, which interestingly enough has 1 timer counting up and 1 timer counting down. This overworld map is very similar to Super Mario 3D World or Yoshi's Woolly World. It would appear that you can free roam at least sections of it too, judging by the fact that there's no dotted path down to this level here, at least that we can see. Each level has a set difficulty, displayed by the amount of stars that you see when you get the preview, and to me, this would imply non-linear worlds, aka an overworld where you can choose from multiple different levels, maybe some are more challenging but reward you more as a result. So far, we only see 2 Wonder Seeds per level. These seem to be the main progression collectible of the game. You receive 1 Wonder Seed for finishing the level and saving this weird toad-like creature. Don't worry, we'll get into them soon. The other Wonder Seed is collected by going into what we're gonna call Wonder Mode and completing some sort of challenge. It would appear that the background can occasionally hint as to what Wonder Mode actually does, but very vaguely. For example, in this section here, Wonder Mode makes all the pipes become alive, they get eyes and start moving. And these background mountains, suspiciously shaped like pipes, suddenly get eyes once you enter Wonder Mode. In this shot, you can see Peach and Mario fly through a windy updraft, and both of them pull out a hat to fly, despite Peach not actually having a hat, which is kinda weird. Unfortunately, I don't think you can use this wherever you want, as we can see this sign here probably indicating that this is now a move that Mario can do. Yoshi could be this game's version of baby mode, just like how Nabbit was for Mario U. In that game, Nabbit could not be hurt by any enemies, and it seems like here Yoshi just phases through a falling missile. Mario can also hop on Yoshi while Yoshi is a playable character, as indicated by this top left icon. This lends more credence to him kind of being in easy mode, because if there's a section that's too hard, player 1 can jump on the more experienced player 2 playing as Yoshi and just kind of mainline the section for them. It reminds me of when Diddy Kong jumps on Donkey Kong in the old Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze game. And speaking of DKC Tropical Freeze, you can see here that Peach actually jumps into the foreground. These pink flowers spawn coins and potentially other objects in front of Mario, which is also similar to not only Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, but Rayman Legends with the Lums. It appears that not only can you go into the foreground, but the background as well, as you can see this blue flower, which is clearly something you're supposed to interact with, in the background for multiple shots. Point stacking has been removed, and it is replaced with good, great, fantastic, and etc., lastly being wonderful, as fitting as that is. For full completion of levels, the mechanic of reaching the top of the flagpole no longer gives you a 1-up or 10,000 points, instead you just see the word wonderful. Crowns return, but only in the form of an icon above a player rather than a physical item that can be dropped. If crowns have the same purpose as 3D World, being given to one player during multiplayer that scores the best in the previous level, now I'm sure it would be counting how many wonderfuls you get. The fact that it's just an icon is a little disappointing, as you probably can't ground pound someone else to steal it from them. This yellow flower here obviously changes the colors of the entire level, but it also seemingly tilts the level, sending this spiked bowler down to chase the gang. The animation of the entire level tilting will play out in a cutscene that we just barely see the end of as this letterbox effect fades up into the sky. Mario can get super big, like super big, like really stretchy and kind of weird. Mario can also turn into a spiked ball that rolls and destroys everything in its way. Running into something while you're in this spiked ball transformation even plays a bowling sound effect. This one you might have missed if you weren't watching super carefully. Mario can turn into a freaking elephant. Considering that there's a bunch of bricks here and we watch Mario absolutely destroy a Goomba, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say as an elephant you can break pretty much anything, but you also can't jump, which can be assumed given the fact that there's a ramp up to the Goomba rather than just a step. You can store a power-up up here and get it back with A. These flowers are voice acted fully. This is the first time in 2D Mario history we get that other than just toad noises. In fact, it actually might be the first time in 2D or 3D Mario history that this happens during gameplay and not a cutscene, but you might want to fact check me on that down in the comments. This game has at least 6 playable characters, being Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Yellow Toad, and Yoshi. Blue Toad might be playable as we see his hat on a Goomba here, but we're not sure. If you count the different colors of Yoshis that we see here, this makes it the largest roster of playable characters in 2D Mario history, not counting Super Mario Run. Yup, I'm gonna give credit when credit's due. That game already had Daisy. People forget that. That game's good. Speaking of Daisy, you can see her pushing a pipe against this new enemy here, showing off a new mechanic. Certain objects can be pushed. As Daisy pushes this, I'm gonna call it a pusher bro because it's like a hammer bro that pushes things. As Daisy pushes back on this guy, he starts to sweat. Time to hit the gym, lil bro. It would seem that this top of the pipe needs to be pushed onto the rest of the pipe, and then you'll be able to go into it and it'll probably send you to the background here. Near the end of the trailer, Mario and 3 other characters hit the flagpole and celebrate. There's this unknown green caterpillar looking guy that pops out from Mario. He's seemingly important to the story. We also see this guy in the key art next to Luigi. We also see him here, but he leaves when Mario turns out the lights. He's scared of the dark. Also, I'm calling it here. This is not a fact, but a prediction. This guy will turn into a butterfly by the end of the game. You don't have a caterpillar that follows Mario the entire game and doesn't turn into a butterfly. I'm just calling it right now. That's a spoiler, by the way, because I'm that confident in that prediction. These new seed-like creatures have new designs and new houses that spawn after beating a level. You can see what was there instead of that house before Mario finished the level, or at least a sliver of it. It looks like a Bowser's Fortress, though. Bubbles return, and while here we can only see them house coins and mushrooms, I would assume that they'll also transport you back once you die in multiplayer like New Soup. Characters share lives like in 3D World. Yes, this was so needed. Gone are the days of playing with people who maybe aren't the best at 2D Mario, and then once they run out of their lives, they're done forever. This balloon guy is transparent, so only the opaque parts of him cast a shadow, like his tail here. This is kind of weird, but I think it's kind of cool. I don't know, it's a nice little detail. Between Bowser Jr.'s blue tint and his ability to grow himself and shrink Mario, he's probably used one of those Wonder Flower looking things and has a bunch of weird powers. I would say that I think Bowser is going to do this as well, but at least for the final boss fight, I'm pretty sure he's turning into an elephant. They did the same thing with cats for 3D World. I'm just gonna, again, spoiler alert, I'm putting that here. He's turning into an elephant. It would be too funny not to. Fact number 48, we're almost done here. There is a comic book-like animation that plays during certain interactions like getting a power-up. You can also see this one when Mario becomes an elephant. It actually makes an elephant in the background, which is pretty cool. Checkpoints return. We don't know if there are multiple of them per level, but yeah, they're back. The Superstar also makes a returning appearance. This is not very surprising at all, but while Mario's falling here, you can see some star effects follow him, and he's changing colors just like the Superstar. It's gotta be returning. And with that, those are 50 quick and fast facts about Super Mario Bros. Wonder. This game looks absolutely incredible, and instead of telling you here to watch a different video on the Switched Up channel, I'm gonna send you over to Nintendo Tonight. This is our podcast, and we had a whole segment talking about Mario Wonder and everything else in the Direct. The video on screen's the Mario Wonder segment, but stick around over there. It's a good time.